struttura aperta, trasparente ed arieggiata, vetri intelligenti, soluzioni agricole innovative ed una fattoria verticale di 860 metri quadrati. Il padiglione USA presenta ad EXPO 2015 American Food 2.0, United to Feed the Planet, un viaggio che parte dalla storia dell'agricoltura e della cultura alimentare made in USA per offrire nuove prospettive alle sfide globali dell'alimentazione.
Benvenuti al padiglione degli Stati Uniti all'Expo Milano 2015. Io sono uno dei Student Ambassadors che lavoriamo all'Expo, al padiglione, per mostrare alle persone cosa è il nostro messaggio. American Food 2.0 sta tentando di risolvere questi problemi della sicurezza alimentare con la innovazione e con le soluzioni creative per riuscire a dare a mangiare a 9 miliardi di persone in 35 anni nel 2050. Dentro del padiglione i visitatori vedono le 6 prospettive che abbiamo presentate che parlano dei problemi specifici della sicurezza alimentare e cosa possono fare loro per risolverli. Abbiamo anche il nostro orto verticale che mostra la nostra innovazione di 860 metri quadrati. Stiamo coltivando 42 varietà di verdure, erbe e grani verticale, così possiamo sfruttare il spazio quando quello orizzontale sta sempre più limitato. L'America è il posto dove sempre tentiamo di trovare più innovazione, più soluzioni per i problemi. Allora American Food 2.0 può anche continuare a 3.0, a 4.0, fino a che troviamo tutte le soluzioni alle varie sfide che abbiamo. Quindi sempre continuiamo in avanti, sempre con la fiducia che lo riusciamo a fare con la nostra capacità.
La struttura del padiglione evoca le linee di un tradizionale granaio americano. Lo sviluppo in verticale e gli ampi spazi aperti caratterizzano l'intero progetto, firmato dal noto architetto James Bieber della Bieber Architects di New York.
The US Pavilion is a completely open pavilion. The concept of the pavilion was to keep it as open, as inviting, as porous, as breezy as possible, so that when you arrive on the Decumanos and you look into the pavilion, you can actually see right through the pavilion. Someone described it as the most powerful pavilion because it has the confidence to remain open and exposed. Everything about it is exposed, stairways and escalators and steel and structural slabs and all the rest. So this degree of openness is really unusual for a US pavilion in the last 20 or 25 years. There was a tradition of making them more and more and more enclosed and more insular, and we thought we really needed to turn that on its head and to reverse that trend. And so we've created a pavilion that literally has no proper envelope. You know, we're in Milan, we're here in the best possible weather, there's no heating system for the pavilion, and so even the walls that we'll see are made of mesh, or there's a vertical farm behind us that's open and is kind of constantly opening and letting more air and light in. The front and the rear of the pavilion have enormous hangar doors that open up every morning. We only close the pavilion for security reasons at night, but otherwise it's open all the time.
Porte dalle dimensioni di un hangar introducono ad uno scenario tipicamente americano, il lungomare. Una passerella realizzata con legname proveniente da Coney Island porta al secondo piano, dove video interattivi ed installazioni multimediali raccontano il mosaico culturale, scientifico e culinario che compone gli Stati Uniti d'America.
So when we talk about the boardwalk, we're really talking about this level of the pavilion, but also the path, the wooden path that runs from the very front, from the Decumanos, all the way to the back of the site. It's literally made of lumber, salvaged lumber from the Coney Island boardwalk in New York City, which was destroyed by a hurricane a few years ago, Hurricane Sandy. And so we were able to salvage the wood. It's a really special thing. The Coney Island boardwalk, which is about 75 or 80 years old, was the a New York City leisure destination with the ocean on one side, food and entertainment on the other side. So to have a piece of it here is really exciting and appropriate. So we didn't want just one way to see the US Pavilion, but people come to the Expo with different expectations. Some want to see 10 pavilions in a day, which is almost impossible, but they try. Some want to spend 2 hours in one pavilion to really absorb the content, and lots of people are in between. And so we tried to make a pavilion that was easily accessible for everybody, but where everyone could choose the kind of experience that they have. Almost without exception, there is never a queue outside the US Pavilion. People are able to flow up the big ramp behind me and directly into the boardwalk level without standing in line because of the size and the arrangement of the circulation. Then to stand in line if they want to go see the show down below, or go to the open roof up above to the terrace. The last thing we wanted was a US Pavilion with a crowd out front that couldn't get in.
Elemento cruciale dell'architettura, la fattoria, un campo verticale dove si coltivano 45 varietà di piante, grazie ad un'innovativa tecnologia agricola sviluppata da una start-up americana. Si tratta di un'enorme facciata idroponica in movimento, realizzata con bottiglie riciclate.
We've also kept the pavilion as a kind of moving machine. So all of the circulation through the pavilion, the stairs, the elevators, the escalators are all exposed. There's glass covering those zones, and you can watch people go in and out, up and down through the pavilion. We have a vertical farm, and it's literally a harvestable farm of over 40 different crops, all crops, no decorative planting, planted in a hydroponic system that was invented in the US in Laramie, Wyoming, and set on moving panels, which maybe you can see behind me, that are tipping toward the sun, but also helping the building breathe and giving it a kind of, reminding people that a farm is not just a fixed thing. So combining technology and nature is an important part of the pavilion.
A contribuire al comfort abitativo i quasi 1000 metri quadrati di vetro intelligente che ombreggiano la terrazza all'ultimo piano. 312 pannelli dimmerabili regolano l'ingresso della luce solare, un sistema non solo funzionale all'efficienza, ma anche all'estetica. Trattando i pannelli si possono programmare immagini, pattern, parole, come se fossero i pixel di un'immagine.
And then on the rooftop, we'll see a glass canopy, the largest glass canopy of its kind. It's smart glass, and it's about 1,000 square meters of switchable digital glass. Applying a very small amount of current changes it from opaque to clear. And so we've taken every single panel, every 1 meter by 3 meter panel, and addressed it individually so that we can create any pattern we want, even spelling words across the roof, scrolling across the roof, to respond to the level of sun, to greet visitors, to create fancy patterns. And you'll see that the sun casts those shadows on the floor and becomes a kind of funny disco floor in a way. So it's functionally shading the visitors, and does a really good job of that, because every building at Expo gets a lot less power, a lot less air conditioning, and a lot less water than most buildings as a gesture to sustainability. And so we had to be very careful about how we use the available power, the available air conditioning, water. And so open spaces like the boardwalk or the roof is cooled by a misting system and by the shaded glass. The boardwalk is cooled by an air displacement system that pushes out the heat from the crowds and from the electronic equipment, pushes it out through the porous walls. It's also open to the breeze and self-shading. And there are a few, of course, fully air-conditioned rooms, but very few of them.
Un approccio tecnologico creativo, soluzioni per realizzare ecosistemi alimentari accessibili e sostenibili, ed un'architettura snella, leggera ed accogliente, dove trasmettere le soluzioni americane alle future sfide alimentari. Nel padiglione USA ogni elemento racconta storie e vicende di innovazione,